What's up, guys? Addicting Air here with another video. Um, I just well today it kind of hit me like the not really like the effects the virus has had on my community, but how it's being handled, not by how it's spreading and how we're not quarantining in a way, but how we should almost relieve a little bit of the quarantine. Um, Now, I mean, it's hard to say because you can't say, hey, just open it back up, because that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean at all. I'm saying, okay, first let me just tell you the issue that I've been seeing. So schools, right? Um, as I know, I think that most schools that aren't in California or New York are open. I know in Virginia it's open. I'm pretty sure. I have a cousin in there. Same thing with Boston. I'm like 90% sure, and they have their schools are open. And it kind of hit me that like at this age it doesn't really matter because I'm a senior in high school and it doesn't really affect me necessarily. But the impact it has on kids that are like a younger age than me could be like it makes a huge difference. Like if you're like a 10-year old or a 9-year old, and this is like the first time, because I used to be like a really shy kid. I still am, but school kind of puts you in that place where you're forced to talk to others and solve problems in order to get a better grade. So it put me in that situation where I was able to talk with other kids, because when you're a young kid you have tons of energy and you need to just let it all out. And obviously the easiest way is to have someone else that has the same amount of energy as you, and you guys can just burn each other out. But I just realized how online schooling for, I guess, anyone under middle school, it's really tough, right? Even up to like eighth grade, it's really tough because you're sitting in front of a computer. You can't really talk to a kid even if you're mid class. There's no like recess. There's no lunch. Um, there's no like activities you can do. There's no like how they always have like sports, and kids that are just sitting at home. And you might be thinking, oh, in a year, and it's not that big of a deal. But if it only lasts a year, sorry about the noise in the background, but if it only lasts a year, even that 1 year can make a big difference, because that affects them. Like these years to develop is like the most important. 1 year makes a huge difference, right? And if it even lasts 1 year, because it might not be the same. They might have to wear masks when they go back, and there's like 10 kids in the class. It's different like a environment or a vibe to it, where it's not the same as school was. And I think if we keep like completely shutting down schools, only virtual schools, I think it's gonna hurt a lot. Not It might not show right now, but it'll hurt a lot of people, especially a lot of kids mentally. I know people have had mental issues because of this, but this will hurt a lot more people mentally than people realize. And I'm just bringing this video out here, um, expressing that I think that schools should open up. At least do a thing where maybe half of the school goes during the morning, and then they go back home, and then half goes in the afternoon. Make it 50-50. But this full closure thing is not good, right, for this amount of time. And I think like most other states, California should open up and um, get kids back in school, at least in the environment. Kids need to just be around other kids. That's really important at a young age. At this age where you're understanding more to be independent, you don't necessarily need to be around other people as much. But in the early ages, you do, right? Because that's where you figure yourself out the most. That's where you really learn who you are as a person. So, any parents out there watching this, doubt it. But if you are, um, I'm sorry, I guess. This is the way it is. If you're in California, I guess, because other parents outside of this state might not have this issue that I'm talking about. But try to. I don't know what you can do. Honestly, it's hard. It's really hard. You can't create the same environment at home. You can't create the same environment outside. It has to be at a school where kids are almost forced to go, but it's still a good place to be. Um, Besides that, uh, the election that's coming up, just want to really talk about it real quick. Just my opinions on it. I don't want tying it back into the schools. I don't want it with whoever wins. I don't care. As long as games aren't played, like fine if election ends November 3rd. I'll give them leeway. November 5th, there's a president, and that is that. And hopefully, if it's uh, either of them, any of them, that get elected, that they try to open up schools, at least with restrictions, but still open it. Maybe open up some entertainment areas too, because maybe like I know they've opened movie theaters, but movie theaters may be like a I don't know, like maybe like a I don't know, an amusement park or something, like a bowling alley. I don't know exactly how many things are closed, but some things just they need to be open for people to do. And I think at this point we could go to dine in or just wear masks with limited quantity because we have to slowly progress into that, the transition of complete quarantine to like to living how we used to live, and we obviously can't go from you know nothing to everything, right, or everything to nothing. That's why it took long to quarantine people, and that's why it's going to take a while to quarantine, like open them back up. And I just feel like I don't know if a vaccine's going to happen. I doubt it will be safe when it comes out, at least for the first few months. I don't know how they're gonna distribute that and how it's gonna work. So that's all up in the air. No one really knows about it. People say, "Oh, 2 months, it's gonna happen. 3 months, new vaccine, let's go." Stuff like that. I doubt it. Um, Personally, those are my ideas. I think schools should open up. I think people should slowly start opening back up. It's been almost like what 8 months, 7 months where we've been full quarantine, or we've been ordered to do quarantine. I just feel like we need to slowly open them up to some degree because it's hurting people. It definitely is, and that's also why I think how the elections this year more than any other election. I don't know if it's because of the advancement of technology and I can like see it more, but you can see the toxicity and the hatred in politics from either side, and it's just sad to see that people are I don't want to say wasting their time because people care about these things 'cause that's kind of rude, but in a way I don't know, they're just committing their energy to something I don't think they should be personally. But I mean, you do what you do, you do what you want to do, but at the end of the day I feel like I always say, better yourself, do something, learn something new, you know, anything. Do anything you want to do, cook something for the first time. Just do something productive. Do something, fun. Don't always worry about things that are mostly out of your control because you can elect someone, but you have in control of who gets elected, right? But you're not in control of um, what the person you elected does, right? And it comes back to I remember when I was in like elementary school, and kids would come up to say, "Hey, you want to be like the vice president of, I don't know, let's say, like vice president of student body." That's what it was at the time. I think middle school also had this. No, middle. I think it was middle school. And they'd say, "Hey." It was a popularity contest, but at the same time, it was like, oh, I'm gonna have field trips to Disneyland. I'm gonna have big events. We're gonna have this, that, and then all the kids knew after. Well, the little kids didn't know, but after, like, if you were in eighth grade or if you were in like fifth grade in elementary school, you would know that these promises, 90% of them wouldn't be like fulfilled. Right? It's just empty promises, and that's the moment I realized, really young, that it's don't believe what you're told, or don't believe what you hear, and don't only hear what you believe. And that's just for me to keep an open mind to everything. That there's always two sides. There's always two things to think about at all times. And that's pretty much it. I don't want to drag this video out too far. Just a quick 10-minute video. I think I got all my thoughts I was thinking at the moment right now. I've tried to record this video multiple times. It's gone to shit. But that's pretty much it. My next video is going to be exciting. I'm going to be building my first PC and setting it up, running it, whatever I decide to do at the moment, at that time. That's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.